Hey guys, it's John here. Welcome back to Pico Cosmos. I'm really excited for today's video because it's got a focus on one of the contemporary sea monkey tanks, which just so happens to be my absolute favourite sea monkey tank of all time, the Ocean Volcano. I'll be doing another giveaway on today's video too, so if you're interested in winning a free Ocean Volcano tank, make sure to stick around to the end for details about how to enter. On top of that, I also have a really exciting bonus announcement today that I'm sure you guys will want to stick around for. So, the Ocean Volcano is one of the newest tanks in the Sea-Monkey product lineup. It was first released by Dragoneye in 2020. Its name and design have taken clear inspiration from the iconic and well-known Ocean Zoo tank, which first made its debut over 60 years ago. There have been some key changes made from the Ocean Zoo though, most notably its shape and the plastic substrate which sits at the bottom of the tank. The Ocean Volcano is a little more flattened out, and the volume has been slightly increased too, both of which I believe are an improvement on the original Ocean Zoo design. Its name is a reference to the volcanic substrate at the bottom of the tank, which we'll take a closer look at in a moment when I open this up. When the Ocean Volcano first came out, it was available in 3 different colours: pink, orange and blue, though the orange was later replaced with this teal green colour. The latest catalogue from Dragoneye shows that another colour change will be coming to this tank very soon. The teal is the only one of these existing colours that will remain, while a purple and dark blue option will be added for the very first time. Something interesting about the Ocean Volcano is that it's never come with any kind of box packaging. Instead, all of the kit's contents are housed within the tank itself. My assumption here is that this is to save on shipping costs and also to take up less space on retail shelving, which makes sense, but I definitely do have a preference for these older kits with elaborate packaging that focuses a little more on the artwork. It just makes the whole experience that much more immersive and fun. The tank wrap insert here has the Sea Monkey logo on the front, with the words Ocean Volcano sitting below it. Coming down further is a graphic showing the 3 pouches and feeding spoon that are included with this kit. While the overall colour scheme here is nice and bright, I'm not a huge fan of the illustration style of the swimming sea monkeys and aquatic animals. Fortunately, the Ocean Volcano will be getting a refresh in the coming months. I recently spoke to Trans Science's official illustrator Todd Machin about this kit, and he sent me a preview of the new packaging due to be released later this year. It has a stronger focus on the fanciful sea monkey characters and a large purple castle, which of course is a reference to the artwork in those early sea monkey comic book ads. I'm excited to see this new packaging when it comes out soon. Turning over to the back, and we can see a graphic on the left hand side which shows some more simple instructions for setting everything up. Speaking of which, let's get this thing open. You know, when I first got into sea monkeys a few years ago, this was the first tank I bought because it was new to me at the time. I had to buy it on eBay because it wasn't available locally, but I'm glad I did because I ended up really liking this set. Alright, so first up we have the Sea Monkey Handbook. This is the new one which has been illustrated and put together by Todd. It's full of some great info and easy to follow setup instructions. It even has a bunch of my microscopy photos in there too, which I'm really chuffed to see. Next up we have the 3 standard pouches and the small yellow feeding spoon. And lastly, the tank itself. The build quality here feels great, and I really like the shape. It's flatter than the more common Ocean Zoo tank, but still wide enough to allow the accommodation of aquarium accessories. The front wall has 4 magnifying bubbles, which is standard on most sea monkey tanks, though as you're probably aware by now, I don't really like these. Luckily they've not been added onto the backside. The tank's base is nicely textured and slightly flares out a little to add some stability. The small logo on the front is a nice touch too. The lid has plenty of air holes for air circulation, which is great to see, but it definitely has a lot of room for improvement. My main issue with it is that it doesn't easily accommodate the use of aquarium accessories, which I think are really important to use for raising sea monkeys. The bottom of the tank features a nicely textured volcano substrate. It has plenty of ridges around the sides and in the mini caldera on top. This feature will be great for algae growth, which is the key to raising healthy sea monkeys. Alright, let's finally get this thing set up. The first step is to pour in distilled water. As I mentioned earlier, the Ocean Volcano has a slightly larger volume than most other sea monkey tanks at 400 mils, making it about 20% bigger. This will of course slightly lower the water salinity level in your tank after adding in packets number 1 and 2. This isn't of any concern though, as brine shrimp have evolved to tolerate an incredibly wide salinity range. Unfortunately, this set doesn't come with an Aqualeash air pump, which is a glaring omission, especially considering they easily fit into the tank. These tools are great for dissolving those salt crystals and aerating the tank too, so I really wish they were standard in all sea monkey kits. It usually takes a day or two for sea monkeys to hatch, and then another 4 to 6 weeks for them to reach adulthood. So I'm going to keep this tank on a south-facing windowsill where it won't receive any direct sunlight that can overwhelm and cook the sea monkeys with excessive heat. Now you guys know that I always advocate the use of aquarium accessories with your tanks to give your pets the best conditions possible for their survival. And that's why I've developed the MICROSCOPES Ocean Volcano light up tank lid. These lids come with a bunch of features not found with the standard sea monkey tank, such as multiple notches allowing for the accommodation of aquarium accessories, a feeding/aeration hole so the lid doesn't need to be removed, and also a built-in USB powered light that helps with algae growth while simultaneously making it easier to watch your pets as they swim around. I'm really happy with how this has come out, and I think you guys will love it too. It comes in a bunch of different colours and is available for order now over at picocosmos.com. I'm going to use both the USB powered air pump and mini aquarium heater with this setup today. Now, usually I'd use some grow lights too, but I'm going to try just using the internal light on my lid instead to see how that goes. That's all for now. I'll check back in with you guys in a month or so for an update on the sea monkeys and my final tank review. Hey guys, how's it going? I kind of forgot about this tank recently because I haven't fed these sea monkeys in over a month. It's actually been almost 2 months since I set this tank up, but there's so much algae growing in there that I haven't really needed to pay any attention to them. I need to get this video finished though, so it's time for an update. The ocean volcano seems to have really turned into a bustling ecosystem these last few weeks. There are plenty of healthy adult sea monkeys, as well as a bunch of teenagers and more babies than I can count. There are several other species that have managed to sneak their way into this tank too. The first appears to be a marine hair algae, and I actually think there might be more than one species of it growing in this tank. Hair algae are filamentous algae that typically form long, thread-like strands resembling hair. They're found in various aquatic environments, including ponds, lakes, rivers, and often aquariums. They belong to the group of macroscopic algae, which means they're large enough to be easily visible to the naked eye, unlike the microscopic stuff that we usually talk about on this channel. Because of its larger size, the sea monkeys probably can't eat it, but it does give the tank a nice little cozy green carpet. They seem to enjoy rubbing their legs along it too to feed on other algal cells. Now while I do think this stuff looks kinda cool because it resembles a plant, it can be problematic. Those long strands are like sticky vines for brine shrimp, and they often get tangled in them. Fortunately, this species doesn't grow too long, so the sea monkeys do always manage to wriggle themselves free, but it does kind of stress me out watching them. It's not so bad that I feel the need to remove it, but I will be keeping a pretty close eye on things just to make sure it's not causing any serious issues. I've also noticed a bunch of copepods in here too. You might remember these guys from the video I made about the SpongeBob Plentioplankton kit. Copepods are small crustaceans found in both freshwater and marine ecosystems all over the world. These guys have been crawling around some of my other brine shrimp tanks for quite a while now, so it's not uncommon for them to spread into other tanks from time to time, usually hitching a ride on a pipette or some other cleaning tool that I've been using. I do quite like having them in my tanks, to be honest. They work in a similar way to ciliates as a bit of a cleanup crew, helping to break down organic debris. Earlier in this video, I mentioned that the ocean volcano is my favourite sea monkey tank of all time, and that's because I've had plenty of experience with it in the past. And even though I've now tried out almost every different sea monkey tank design, this is the one I keep coming back to. The slightly increased water volume from the ocean zoo is great. It helps more sea monkeys survive and gives them more additional space to swim. The flattened out shape is helpful too. It adds plenty of surface area that lets you enjoy watching your pets gracefully swim around the tank. The volcanic substrate at the bottom is excellent for facilitating algae growth, and the nice large opening at the top of the tank easily accommodates the important tank accessories to help your sea monkeys thrive. There are 2 changes I would make to this tank if I could though. The magnifying bubbles on the front are unnecessary and just interrupt the viewing experience. I understand that this feature is a link to the brand's design heritage and identity, but I think it's about time they retire them. The other change I would make is of course to the lid. The ones that come with these tanks have several flaws, which fortunately I've been able to fix with my 3D printed version. I'd love for Trans Science and Dragoneye to adopt this design or something similar into an official updated version of this tank in the future, but we'll just have to cross our fingers and wait to see if that happens. Overall, this is still my favourite sea monkey aquarium ever, and I think it's the perfect choice for beginners looking to get into the hobby, or anybody who just wants a tank that will increase the chances of their sea monkeys surviving. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I'm going to be giving away an Ocean Volcano tank to one lucky viewer. And on top of that, I'll also throw in one of the 3D printed light up tank lids as well. To enter the giveaway, simply leave a comment on this video and I'll pick a random winner in 1 month from now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.